and welcome to Business 300. My name is Philip Kulenshoff, and this is 300 Seconds About Business. We're all a busy people, so I have 5 minutes or less to get my point across. Business 300. Here we go. In this episode of Giving Business Advice, I wanted to talk about receiving business advice. I'm sure we've heard contradicting business thoughts and tactics, using debt as leverage versus only using the equity you have, specialized labor versus general labor, volume production and economies of scale versus personal craftsmanship, cost-based accounting versus throughput accounting, etc., etc., etc. Well, here's some advice on receiving advice. I think it's important that business managers understand their context and know that not all advice is created equal. Some business owners experience success in their industry, with their product type, and in their way of doing things. What they did worked for them, so they quickly make practices into principles that all should live by. Recommendations turn into rules. My way is the way. And all the newbies soak it up. I've been that naive new business manager trying to walk in step with the greats. But I'd only make things worse by not pulling their good ideas across the chasm of relevance into my specific context. Not all businesses are the same. They don't share the same customer type, the same strategy, the same structure, the same employee culture, the same dependency on labor and machinery and capital expenditures. And therefore, not all business advice fits neatly the same way in every business. Yes, there are definitely principles to live by, and objective truth that applies everywhere. But a lot of the principles presented to business managers are actually practices that were simplistically blown up to the level of principle. So here's the principle. Not every practice should be a principle. So if you can't just pull everything straight across, how should a business manager go about learning from people who are indeed more experienced and have good things to say? A good business owner learns to think in abstractions. Yes, we learn what works and what doesn't through practice. But practice can't always be brought straight across from business to business, or even in the same business from circumstance to circumstance. What worked in one situation usually doesn't work exactly the same in another. Nuances are real, and sometimes can change the game drastically. So, in order to apply our own experience or that of others to our current situation, we need to be able to think in abstractions. A way to get better at thinking in abstractions is to broaden your range of experience. There's a good book with that exact title, Range, by David Epstein. The ROI on picking up a wealth of diverse experience is not directly quantifiable, but a range of experience plays an immense role in a business owner's ability to think in abstractions, connect concepts across disciplines, and make applicable decisions in his current circumstance. Like all business advice, you'll find contradictions out there to what I'm saying here. There are people who talk about specializing only in your areas of strengths and expertise and finding people for the other stuff. Sure, you can try that route, specialize away. But once the time signature changes midway through the concerto, your common time approach is no more good, and you're left with your specialized skills and out of context application. There is an indispensability in being able to think across disciplines. So, if you entered into business management through the finance world, learn a bit about what it takes to run an operation. If you are always in the weeds of production, try on big picture thinking. Read history and biographies, learn some physics and mechanical engineering, appreciate music and art, read opinions you don't agree with. The broader the range, the better the reward. So, broaden your range, amass a wealth of experience, and see the principles behind the practice.